I would write across the sky in letters that would soar 1,000 feet high to Sir with love. Sir, thank you very, very much. You've been an outstanding judge for the bar, and the bar really appreciates that, the nature that Narasimha very beautifully defined, the approach that you had towards judicial matters, and particularly your treatment to the members of the bar, especially the young ones, was always ever so touching. This bar really found a great friend in you. You lived for a short time with us, but in those 3 years, you have actually won over the hearts of every member of the bar. I can share a secret with all of you here, especially honorable judges, and I have believed that for a long time, that bar is the best barometer of really what is about a judge. And I can tell you that in every corner of these corridors of the Supreme Court, the bar always talked about you very fondly, very lovingly. Tall, handsome, always very well dressed, prim and proper, very strong handshake, Justice Vikramjit Sen. The retirement of most judges passes off without notice outside the cloistered world of the legal profession. This cannot be said of Justice Sen, a distinguished alumni of St. Stephen's College, and who has contributed immensely both to the bar and the bench. I can personally say one thing, and I'm sure many of you would agree, that Justice Sen is one of those judges who actually grew on the bench from year to year. And a judge who was fairly conservative when we appeared before him in High Court, little reluctant to give ex parte injunctions, put us to task. He became so positive when he came to the Supreme Court that it surprised many of us. And whenever we got our matters listed in your court, Judge, I can assure you, we always were hopeful that today we might walk away with some order. So it was really a great change to see you, and I think it's really amazing that the way you grew, and with yourself you allowed the bar to grow. Justice Sen has been a spectacular judge, perhaps appearing more extraordinary as the society around him has grown increasingly conservative. And you see that in his judicial approach. In person, Justice Sen, very genial, quick to talk about issues. You meet him outside in any party, you can discuss anything with him, including the matters which were being heard by him. Very informal. But to delve into personal, he seemed always puzzled when asked about the effect on him of his work. I have tried many a times to talk to him, and he would never discuss what effect the work had on him. For all the pain and love he has seen passing through this court, he has always continued to smile. And that's been an amazing contribution to this kind of a relationship that bar and bench have developed. Justice Sen, we really look forward to remaining in touch with you, to treat you as our friend, our member, and would be delighted that as and when you find time, as you did on one of the occasions earlier this year, to come join us for coffee in our coffee canteen and talk to us, guide us. Our youngsters would love to talk to you, and I have no doubt that it will bring a lot of cheers and smiles on our faces too. I have no doubt that Mrs. Sen is looking for this day for quite some time, because I'm sure she will have, we hand over Justice Sen to you 24 hours, 365 days. I have no doubt that it is not going to interfere with your bridge sessions and your walks in Lodi Garden, Mrs. Sen. But certainly, I mean, it's nice that you will have, Judge, time for your family, for your daughters, for your grandkids whom you love a lot, for your lovely pet that you have who must be missing you a lot. And of course, those of us who are very keenly golf enthusiasts on the golf course, I really look forward to seeing you perhaps tomorrow morning on the golf course, because we have missed you for quite some time, in this, at least after you left us in Karnataka and came to the Supreme Court. So I really thank you, Judge, for the contribution that you have made, not just to the jurisprudence, to the development of law, but most important, to the relationship of the bar and bench. And I very warmly thank you. I wish you, on behalf of my entire bar, my executive committee, my vice president, my secretary, and myself, lots of good luck, lots of happiness in retirement, and God bless you and a happy new year to you. Thank you.
Thank you, President, sir. And before I invite the head of our family, I just wish to share the feelings of the bar. Before I was coming here, I think there was unanimity that we have the most magnanimous Chief Justice of India, and that is why there are a lot of hopes that the bar members have from the current Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice T.S. Thakur. When I was young, my father, late Virendra Bhatia, who was the Advocate General, told me that Judge Sahab se jab bhi jana to bada mangna. ये वो शख्सियत हैं जो जिंदगी भी दे सकते हैं और जिंदगी ले भी सकते हैं. तो आज बार की तरफ से जो मैं कहना चाहता हूं, 24th April 2010, many young lawyers had an aspiration, had a dream. They thought that in the new Appughar complex there would be chambers for all, and we were promised certain number of chambers. Even after 5 years, sir, we are not aware of the number of chambers. And I think I'll be failing in my duty as the Honorary Secretary if I don't even mention. But with the hope, I know that लोग कहते हैं कि सब ठीक है, हम कहते हैं उनके देखे से जो आ जाती है चेहरे पे रौनक, वो समझते हैं बीमार का हाल अच्छा है. और अगर किसी में ये ताकत है कि सबको उनका जो सपना है वो दे दें, तो वो केवल हमारे चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया ऑनरेबल जस्टिस टी.एस. ठाकुर हैं. और इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं, उनके लिए सिर्फ एक ही बात कहूंगा, ना आंधियों का खौफ है ना हवाओं का, हमने दिए जलाए हैं सूरज को तोड़कर. एंड दैट इज आवर चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया. आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑनरेबल the Chief Justice of India, Justice T.S. Thakur, to deliver his presidential address. Thank you.
I wanted to say that this tool of interpretation has an extraordinary power. It breathes life into words which comprise a statute, which have no life therein. When a judge breathes life into a statute, in fact, he brings in to the statute the life, and that is inextricably linked with his personality. Justice said, as I was reading your judgments on various subjects, I feel that you have left your imprint on the judge-made law of this country. There are various judgments which my friend has also cited, but the felicity of language and the sensitivity with which you have handled such an issues which came up for consideration need to be mentioned. In one of these cases, this is your expression I would like to share with my friends here. It is beyond cavil that it is in the interest of the dispensation of criminal justice that competent counsel possessing integrity should alone be appointed, since otherwise there is a strong possibility of miscarriage of justice. In choosing them, the state will not only have to be satisfied of their forensic competence, but also that they are bereft of any criminal antecedent. The state, like any other litigant, must have the freedom to appoint counsel in which they repose the trusted confidence. The only expectation is that the choice made by the state should not be such as could defeat the sacred and onerous responsibility of ensuring that justice is meted out to all citizens. He has, in a recent judgment, reviewed the position of guardianship, as my friend Sinha has mentioned. This judgment is known world over, but what is interesting is to read the felicity of the language that he has adopted. He uses the expression avowedly, the mother is best suited to take care of her offspring, so aptly and comprehensively conveyed in Hindi by the word mamata. Furthermore, recognizing her maternity would obviate the necessity of determining paternity. This is a great principle. By recognizing the mamata or the embodiment of motherhood, it is unnecessary to actually determine the paternity at all. This is the power of interpretation. Finally, the sensitivity which he has shown while writing a judgment which depicts the proceedings which are taken in departmental cases against many of the governmental employees. Protracted periods of suspension, repeated renewal thereof have regrettably become the norm and not the exception that they ought to be. The suspended person suffering the ignominy of insinuation, scorn of society, and derision of his department has to endure this excruciation even before he has formally charged with some misdemeanor, indiscretion, or offense. The judgment is full of expressions which shows the great amount of sensitivity that the learned judge has felt with respect to many of these employees. Justice Sen, from tomorrow there are no more SLPs, no more harassment for interim orders by us. It is in a way an advent to a beautiful phase of life, which I think is the time when you bring together the estranged couple of body and mind together, which is what we have suffered for such a long period. Now you will have time for yourself and your family. On behalf of the government and on behalf of the law officers, I wish you all the best, happy Christmas and a happy and a prosperous New Year. I thank the bar for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Narasimha. A very inspiring speech. And knowing Justice Vikramjit Sen, because we've been told that the Honorable Chief Justice of India has been very kind to constitute a vacation bench for urgent matters, maybe we'll see Mr. Sen, Justice Sen, even sitting in the vacation bench and disposing of certain petitions, because we all know he's a workaholic. Now I would request the new president of the SCBA, the dynamic leader we look up to, who's led from the front, and one person we all are proud of, Mr. Dushyant Dave.
Namaskar, everybody. Honorable Justice Vikramjit Sen, Honorable Chief Justice Thakur, Honorable Judges, my esteemed colleague and Vice President Mr. Sinha, Mr. Narasimha, the Additional Solicitor General, who has brilliantly filled the void today created because of the absence of the learned Attorney General, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, the indomitable Secretary, distinguished members of my executive committee here, who are all here in full strength, and of course the dearest friends of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted today to welcome particularly, and this is a new tradition, Mrs. Malti Sen, wife of Justice Vikramjit Sen, and also the family members of Justice Sen, Manvi Sarkar, Mrinalini Sen Gupta, and Mr. Satyajit Gupta, who are here this evening. And this really, I think, is a very nice way of telling ourselves that we truly are one family, the bench and the bar. I have no hesitation